Basically, my father turned me on to photography. He gave me a camera when I was 12. I went to art school in Atlanta, the Art Institute, dropped out, moved to New York, and started working as a photo assistant. I think I was probably cocky back then. I thought I knew more than the teachers back then, and I didn't like the idea of, or the direction they were teaching me, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go to New York. I had this one professor say that the best photographers in the world were either in New York or in Europe. And so if you want to be in that class, you should go there. And that's what I did. My real training came from working as a photo assistant, where I assisted people like Gregory Heisler and my God, so many different people. Bruce Buck and Barbara Bordnick, and the list goes on and on and on. Neil Barr, just great photographers. And that was my real training. And I did that for 3 years, and then I went off on my own and been doing it ever since. It's been my blood all my life. My first real job, it was an editorial for Essence magazine. It was a fashion story for real people. I had to shoot 8 real business women in a fashion situation. That's my first job. It was an 8-page editorial. My first job, I was very nervous, but it was a lot of fun doing it. And the magazine loved the story. And the following week, they gave me another assignment, and that was my first big assignment, shooting somebody who was a celebrity of the moment. I photographed Anita Hill during the Anita Hill confirmation, Clarence Thomas confirmation hearings, and during the Clarence Thomas confirmation hearings. And that led to getting more stories for that magazine, and led to me shooting regularly for the magazine, and people noticing my name doing editorial. And then that led to people calling for advertising, and then on and on and on. It led to me shooting celebrities, and celebrities starting to call my name, and it just snowballed after that. It was a slow, spin, but that was the beginning for me. Relationships are extremely important in this industry. I think in any business, period. Definitely in photography. I think a lot of young photographers get into the business thinking it's just about photography, and it's not. Not if you want to do this as a career and make a living. And I mean a career, 20, 30 years. This is about relationships. And that goes from working as an assistant to doing wedding photography or fashion and beauty or advertising. It's all about the relationships. What you project, who you are, is all a big part of it. Whenever I speak, I give 3 books that I think are essential for everybody to read. And they are How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This book is essential for us to read, I think. I also talk about Selling the Invisible by Harry Beckwith. It's a fantastic book. And The Alchemist. Now, none of these books are photo books, but I think they are essential to artists, to photographers, to business people, to excel. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a major book that has helped me throughout my career, especially now in this economy. But even before that, it's a great book. It's going to change your career. It's going to change how you view yourself as a business person, as a photographer. And you want to stand out from everybody else. This is the way to do it. Read these 3 books. There are many things I do to get people comfortable in front of the set. When somebody walks into a studio for me, it's my job to make them feel comfortable. Because people are nervous, like I'm nervous doing this interview. I have to make them feel comfortable. And I use a lot of things to do that by getting their mind off of posing. So I'll use music, I'll use food, I'll use all my things that are outside of photography to make them feel comfortable. Talking about their day. While they're doing their hair and makeup, I'm sometimes sitting right beside them, just asking questions about, their favorite movie, or their child, or their boyfriend or girlfriend, to get their mind off of the photo shoot and start building a relationship between us. Because a photo shoot is really it's like a dance between myself and the subject, but they lead the dance, and I'm just following and guiding them and seducing them into my picture. And I like that process. Photography is changing. It's evolving so rapidly. Everything we know is changing, including how we do business. Everything's online now. There's Twitter, there's Facebook. It's become a part of our marketing now. But at the same time, you have to sometimes resort back to doing things that work, that are proven. Like I mentioned before, and How to Influence and Influence People talks about these things that make you stand out from the crowd. If everybody in the world is doing one thing and you do the same thing, you don't stand out. It's doing the things that are different that make you stand out. Our industry has changed so much and we have to be on top of everything. But what will never change is that personal relationship. You've got to get out there and meet people. And even this week, I'm in New York just to have meetings and see clients and have face-to-face time. That's how you stand out. I think you're always tested when you go through hard times. And right now, our country's going through a hard time. The last 2 years, we've been through a lot. If you go through a hard time and you still love it, that means you're meant for this. I can't imagine doing anything else. Yes, it's been a challenging year, 2 years. I still love photography. I don't want to do anything else. Whether I'm, getting paid what I got paid 2 years ago or beyond, it doesn't matter. I love photography. And that means I've got to change and reinvent myself. And I've been doing that. And I love that process. I'm working harder now than I've ever worked in my 23-year career. But I love photography. I love the challenge. I love doing new work. I love putting it out there. I love going through and having meetings and meeting different people, meeting different art directors and art buyers and editors, and being creative. In this field, we're creating, and I love that process. There's nothing that feels better to me than create new work and show it to the world and have them connect with it. To me, that's the best feeling in the world. Everything is happening so fast. I went to a summit at Microsoft 2 years ago, and the CTO opened the conference by talking about 50 years of technology and where we've been in the past 50 years. And then he said, in the next 5 years, we'll see more change than we've seen in the last 50. And I've seen that happening in the last 2. So who knows what the future holds, but it's all changing. We have to evolve. And sometimes to evolve, it means going back and doing your research and looking at history and seeing where we've been so you can go forward. And I'm doing more of that now, doing more research and learning how to tell better stories. I think in photography and still photography in the future, we'll need to become better storytellers. Telling a story from beginning to end, having a beginning, a middle, and an end, and making it make sense visually. That's our future.